welcome along to the NASCAR Grand Prix of the Czech Republic from Autodrom Most. We've got round 6 of the 2021 NASCAR Wheel in Euro Series, EuroNASCAR 2 division coming up. Great to see the fans returning to the circuit. Limited numbers allowed into the venue over the course of this weekend, but there'll be plenty for them to chat about as we will enjoy 4 fantastic races, 2 from each of the divisions. We did have a race yesterday in what were changeable conditions for the NASCAR Wheel in Euro Series, so let's have a look back at yesterday's race. Well, in the wet conditions, it was deemed that a single file start was the way to go. Tobias Dauenhauer led, but went straight through the gravel trap at turn number 1, was able to rejoin and hang on to the lead of the race. There were great fights going on behind. Simon Palat was under pressure from Advait Dioda, whilst local star Czech driver Martin Dubek was sitting there in 4th place, trying to make progress at the wheel of his Hendricks Ford. The weather conditions were slowly starting to improve, but the curbs were still very wet indeed, as Simon Palat found out at the penultimate corner, ran wide onto the curbs, got some wheel spin. Martin Dubek instantly went through and put the number 7 up into the podium spots. Paolo Valeri was having a great race at the wheel of the number 8 car, fighting away with the Marco Steep car of Miguel Gomez, but there was contact between the pair of them. They would both continue in the race, but it would cause damage to the front of the number 8 Chevy. But for Tobias Dauenhauer, he was fairly untroubled for most of the race on the drying track and headed towards victory lane for the 2nd time this season. The championship leader claiming another win, and also meaning he's failed to finish off the podium in all of the races so far this season. So big smiles on the top step of the podium for Tobias Dauenhauer. He is leading the EuroNASCAR 2 division at the moment in terms of the championship standings. That is for the young and the amateur drivers. All the professional drivers go into EuroNASCAR Pro, where Loris Hazemans leads the way. They both have 2 races over the course of a weekend. Now, Autodrom Most is not short on corners. There are 21 corners around the 4.2 kilometre or 2.6 mile circuit. And just look how tightly packed they are through the likes of turn 15, 16 and 17. They all come up together. 14 laps around this track. The grid is set by the fastest lap times from yesterday's race. And therefore, it was important in those drying conditions to get the quick lap in. Tobias Dauenhauer did that. He starts from pole. So let's hear from the pole sitter.
The best condition for today's race. I'm very happy about that, and yeah, thanks again to the whole team. They did an amazing job. I had a perfect car, and yeah, I was happy that I reached the fastest lap in race 1 yesterday again, and I'm looking forward to the 2nd race today.
I'm not surprised he's looking forward to it. That's now 2 wins this season and has yet to finish any lower than 3rd place for Tobias Dauenhauer, who starts from pole. Pierluigi Veronese lines up alongside Advait Dioda and Martin Dubek row 2, and Francesco Garisto and Levi Lintercantu there on row number 3. So buckle up. We're about to go green for race number 2 here at Autodrom Most for the EuroNASCAR 2 division. And as they head over the start-finish line, Tobias Dauenhauer gets the jump and gets a good start as they all charge their way up towards turn 1 and turn 2, the chicane. Dauenhauer leads the race. It is Pierluigi Veronese that's there in 2nd position. Advait Dioda is 3rd. Martin Dubek is 4th. And Francesco Garisto is there in 5th place. A couple of cars straight on through the gravel, some of which are already carrying damage by the look of things as they carve their way around. And one of them is the number 88 Monster Energy back car of Max Lancer that's got most of the front bodywork missing. So Dauenhauer looking to try and make the break on Pierluigi Veronese, who returns to the championship this season. He is joint owner of Double V Racing. He sits there in 2nd place, but he's under pressure from Brands Hatch winner Advait Dioda in the early stages. So here they come, round through the sweeping turn number 18 and up towards turn number 19. They'll thread their way, with Veronese looking to try and hang on to the position as we go on board with Advait Dioda looking for 2nd, looking for the inside line. Oh, there's contact between the pair of them. Veronese gets turned round. Advait Dioda surely with damage to that front left corner, and everybody else is able to squeeze their way through. There is the stricken car of Pierluigi Veronese. He, I'm afraid, is out of the race. Well, Dioda has continued round, but he's dropped to 4th place, so Martin Dubek is now up into 2nd place at his local circuit, remember. Max Lancer in the battered car, coming under pressure from the number 46 that sits behind him, which is Miguel Gomez. But with Max Lancer's car struggling a little bit with the lack of aerodynamics, through and having gained the place now goes Paolo Valeri. And Miguel Gomez is queuing up behind. And Vladimiris Joitsis, who's come off the tail end of the field at the wheel of the number 1 machine. So great drive in the early stages from the Cypriot driver. And he's got right behind him the number 22 of Justin Kuntz by the look of things. So this is a great little fight that's going on with Miguel Gomez hanging on to 6th position, but 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th are all queuing up behind him. So busy Portuguese driver is Miguel Gomez at the moment. Oliveira's Choice is 17th on the grid for the number 1 car, right the way up inside the top 10 now, and looking to try and unpick Miguel Gomez. Almost did it there on the exit of turn number 15. But the difficulty for Choices is that if he tries it and it doesn't work, then Justin Kuntz is poised and ready to go through. Choices goes through. Justin Kuntz looks to try and squeeze his way through as well. And I think Nave Talor goes through as well. Yeah, so 4 places lost there almost for Miguel Gomez. Next of the cars that queuing up behind him is Gilles Lidster, who returns to the championship. We go on board with German driver Justin Kuntz inside the top 10. Vladimira's Choices squeezes his way through past Max Lancer's battered car. Justin Kuntz takes the opportunity to go through and past the Cal Racing machine as well at the wheel of his DF1 Racing Chevy, and is now trying to hunt down the Academy Alex Caffey Motorsport number 1 Ford that lies ahead. Max Lancer's bodywork still flapping away. The next of the cars that's trying to unpick him is going to be the car of Israeli driver Nave Talor. Ian-Eric Varden coming under pressure from Tom Krasinas as well. The Greek goes through and ahead of the Finn. That's for the final place inside the top 10. Now, Krasinas so far this weekend retired from race number 1 with problems. He's now got the run on Miguel Gomez, who's dropping down through the order now. Ian-Eric Varden is trying to follow through Tom Krasinas, so Miguel Gomez loses a further place as well. He's not giving up, though. He's pushing hard. He's trying to keep Ian-Eric Varden behind, but Ian-Eric has the inside line for turn 1, and the Finn at the win of the 44 goes through, gains the place. Doesn't stop there for Miguel Gomez. More cars queuing up behind him again. That's the difficult thing of this circuit. If you're pushed offline at one corner, the door is open for the next 3 or 4 corners for cars to weave their way through. Now for 3rd place, Paolo Valeri coming under enormous pressure. He's got Vladimira's Choices behind him, then the number 22 Chevy in the hands of Justin Kuntz, and then Nave Talor as well. Valeri almost had Vladimira's Choices into the rear quarter panel of him. They're so close on the brakes going up to that part of the circuit, but great driving from them all, as close as they could be to each other. No contact, not at least as yet. Again, Choices looking for the inside line, and is he going to squeeze his way through? Justin Kuntz tries to get up the inside of Vladimira's Choices, and somehow they all come out of the corner, still pointing in the right direction, still in the same order. A great fight for the final podium spot. Now Nave Talor this time gets the run on Justin Kuntz, and is he going to go through? There's a locked break from Paolo Valeri. Yeah, Nave Talor now goes through and ahead of Justin Kuntz, so he's going to be up into 5th position, Nave, who had problems yesterday with damage to his car, which dropped him down through the order, and he didn't set a quick lap time in yesterday's race, so that's why he's having to work his way through the order here, the teenager. Vladimira's Choices, who is just 24 years of age, up the inside of Paolo Valeri, tags him into a spin. Valeri goes round, and then I'm afraid it looks though Nave Talor got tagged in the rear by Justin Kuntz as he tried to anchor up to avoid what was unfolding ahead of him. Max Lancer, I've got to say, still doing a really good job. The number 88 surely must be struggling with some aerodynamics with all of the composite bodywork missing off the front of his car, but he's still doing a good job of hanging on to a place inside the top 6 at the moment. Slightly damaged car of Finnish driver Ian-Eric Varden sitting directly behind him, and this is going to be the battle for the lead of the Legend Trophy as well, I think, for those drivers that are aged 40 and over. Max Lancer fighting away with Ian-Eric Varden, and at the moment he's just about doing enough, is Max. Shares the car with Alan Day, who races it in EuroNASCAR Pro. There's a bit of work to be done by Cal Racing to sort that car out. As Ian-Eric Varden gets a really good run coming up towards the penultimate corner. Through sneaks the Finn, takes the place away. So Ian-Eric Varden now will be up into the lead of the Legend Trophy, which is the subcategory of EuroNASCAR 2 for those that are aged 40 and over. Great drive from the Finn. Now Max Lancer has been unpicked by Ian-Eric Varden. He will look to try and push. There's a bit of a gap between himself and the recovering Nave Talor, who, following his spin, has got the car pointing in the right direction and is continuing. Miguel Gomez under pressure from Alberto Panabianco as well, with Yevgen Sokolovsky not too far behind in the light blue car. Doesn't matter where you look in EuroNASCAR, the pure racing means there's always battles to be had, and this is the battle for 9th position at the moment. The Portuguese driver from the Italian, from the Ukrainian, feeding their way up towards the final corner in what are much, much better conditions here today than we've had over the course of the weekend. Miguel Gomez has got enough of a gap between himself and Alberto Panabianca that he shouldn't come under pressure in towards the braking area for the chicane. But there's big lock breaks from behind from Yevgen Sokolovsky, who bounces into the side of Alberto Panabianca and pushes Miguel Gomez into the gravel trap there. Gomez will recover, but has lost places. Panabianca, no doubt, with a bit of damage, but Sokolovsky's car, thankfully, by the look of things in the background, has been able to move out of harm's way. But surely Sokolovsky's car, with the contact there, must have had some suspension damage, and I suspect his race will be done. For Tobias Dauenhauer, though, he is comfortably on his way to a victory. He has built up a substantive lead here of around about 10 seconds over Francesco Garisto. So it is Tobias Dauenhauer who does the double here in the Czech Republic to claim the win and hang on to the championship lead. Garisto finishes in second place, his first podium of the season, and Vladimir Choitsis will finish in third position. Fantastic stuff from the German as he goes to victory lane for the second time this weekend at the wheel of the number 50 Hendricks Ford. Let's hear from the winner.
Very happy at the moment. It was just a perfect weekend for the whole team and me. We showed such a great performance the whole weekend during rainy conditions and also dry conditions. And yeah, car was, like I said already yesterday, was just perfect. The team did an amazing job to give me the perfect car, and I tried my maximum. So yeah, just a perfect weekend.
Absolutely the perfect weekend for Tobias Dauenhauer. He extends his championship lead over Martin Dubeck, who lies second in the standings. The rookie trophy, 4 drivers in their first season, went the way of Miguel Gomez in that race. In the legend trophy for those over 40, it went the way of Ian Eric Varden. And in the lady trophy this time, Ariana Casserly came out on top.